Hello, everybody. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I was just going to come on. I've done what I got. All my fabric is stitched down. All the little layers, the little cluster areas is stitched down, and I decided I'm not going to do any more swirls, so that'll be the only swirl on here. But I have made some circles, and then I stitched around some of my doodle circles that I had added. And now I got to thinking what I would do for my actual quilting is the meandering fly stitch. So I want to pin my layers together, and I'm going to stitch through all of the layers with the fly stitch. And so I wanted to put my layers together. So I have the fabric and the batting. The fabric we created, and our batting is there. And then this is my backing or lining fabric, and I'm going to put it with the print down on the table. And then I'm going to just line this up so that I'm sure the fabric we created is kind of centered on the backing. And we're going to quilt through all the layers. I have basting pins, but you can do like long stitches with sewing thread, go from one corner to the other through all your layers and baste it together. So you could stitch across this way and stitch across that way and maybe down the middle. And those stitches you would remove when you're done. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to pin mine with my basting pins, and the basting safety pins have like a little kink in them. That's so you can kind of push down and get through all the layers and then turn and come up and then pin them. And then all the layers are pinned. And technically you should put a pin about every fist. So from here I should put one there. And I have more pins if I feel like I need them. But I'm going to pin baste these together. And I prefer either sewing it with the long stitches or using the safety pins, simply because straight pins, you know, they poke you. Hopefully I'm getting through all the layers. I am. I might spread these out just a little bit more. And then I have marked about the center of my fabric right here. You can kind of see a pencil line that I've got going straight across there. So when I do my fly stitches to put my layers together, I'll start some of them here and work my way down. And when I get to that line, I'll stop. And I'll do that all along here. I'll just start different stems. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You see how you create almost stems. You start at the top of a stem and work your way back and forth down to the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that and start closer toward the center of my piece and just do like maybe 5 down low. And then I'll do some stems that start farther up and maybe connect to the ones I've already done. So it looks like it's branched off. Like here, this has got like branching. And then what I'll do is I'll do down low on this side of my line. And then on this side, I'll be working top down here because this is the height of the bag. So this side will be one side of the bag, and this will be the top, and this way. So what I'm saying is it will bend up like this. So you want your stems to work down the bag to the bottom, okay? So I'm going to keep pinning this up, and this is just a very impromptu to kind of tell you what I'm doing. I'm making some slow progress on this project, and I wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up of where I am, how I'm planning to do my quilting. I know Anne mentioned doing her quilting on her sewing machine, which is fine. You can do that. I just thought it would be really pretty to do the meandering fly stitch along, and that would kind of decorate the inside of the bag as well as the outside. And I'm just going to use whatever threads I can, I'm just going to use embroidery floss to do the quilting as well. If you want to do what you're going to do for your quilting with just hand quilting thread, that's fine. Always, when you start your quilting, start from the center and work your way out. And the reason for doing that is the actual quilting and stitching motion kind of eats and condenses the batting and kind of draws it in. That's why you want your batting and your backing slightly wider or larger than your main fabric. And once I get my stitching done to where all my layers are held together with the fancy stitches that I'm going to use, I'm going to take this to my sewing machine once I'm done it with the embroidery part, and I'm just going to kind of baste along the edge, just baste. If you don't want to take it to your sewing machine, you don't have to. You could do it by hand, just run just a basting stitch. It might be faster actually to just do it by hand. And then I'm going to square my piece up so that all my edges are straight, and that's when a cutting mat comes in handy. I'm going to use my cutting mat, but you want to square your edges up, so when we make this into a bag, everything finishes nice and neat. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them in the comment section so that others can see the questions as well as what I say, and we can have a communication down there, and maybe somebody else can chime in and say what they're doing for their stitching or their quilting, and we will put this bag together Monday morning at 6:30. So happy stitching. Keep having fun. I do want to finish this up Monday morning, so I'm going to steady work on this a bit longer. That one's not been moved yet. And I know this is an impromptu. So those that are watching the replay, thanks for being here. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.